this is the end of the seasonal story, I guess. So let's see how they decide to wrap it up. I don't know. I don't know if I have high hopes for it. I do. Legend Battlegrounds. Legend Defiant Battlegrounds will be available over the course of the next 3 weeks. Why only over the course of the next 3 weeks? That's super weird. Limited time Eververse offer to celebrate April Fool's Day. We've added some special items to the Eververse this week. Seriously, no joke. Raid challenges have begun. Okay. We have been doing Root of Nightmare raids, so... Looks like we already have... Oh. I was gonna say, do we have any of the week 5 challenges beaten by now? Doesn't look like it. 2,000 Bright Dust just picked up. Another Sparrow we don't need because we already have some of the best. Let's check the Eververse store. They said they got... Nah, no thanks. Credence. Man, I really gotta start going back to Gambit so I can get some of these trusts and stuff like that. I love trust. This week, I seem to have everything I need. All-terrain explorer. Does the front wheel touch the ground? Because I always wanted, like, a motorcycle-style, Sparrow. Limitless Subversion Cloak. Nah. Disciples Judgment. Right. We're gonna go to the tower real quick, because I think there's a shader we can pick up from here. And I can finally deposit some of my synthweebs in here, too. So the good news is I did get all of the stuff done for Vexcaliber. I got all of the different catalysts and all of the different what's it called? Intrinsic traits, and basically the Vexcaliber story mission is completely done. We have everything unlocked for it now. The only major issue is that there was something special that happened during the Vexcaliber mission, basically showing off like a cutscene or kind of like a little bit of a cinematic where it talks about how the Vex are trying to determine what the Veil is as well. They were running simulations on it. Their best guess simulation was the Black Heart of the Black Garden from D1, which is a little bit of a retcon, and them just talking about like how they're trying to understand paracausality as well.
Approach.
That even they can't
I
fully
have no
grasp
time
it.
for shyness.
But, I mean, it was alright, but it doesn't really add anything, to be honest. It adds about as much as we already know, where there is something crazy happening, and no one really understands what's happening with it. Not a lot happening there. Yeah, there was a shader. So, Dead Orbit Fate. Just a nice black and white shader. Real simple, not super dark black and white, but it is black and white. I'll take it. Very slowly I'm building up all these shaders I didn't have from like Dead Orbit and New Monarchy and Dead Orbit, New Monarchy, and what else was it? And Future War Cult.
What do you think?
I really wish they would do something about the armor sets from those as well. They really need to make those armors available. I think they're in Dares of Eternity, yeah, but it would be nice to have some of the armor sets, like the ornaments, to come back as well. This Lodebrock might be a really good pickup. Just fragile focus and target lock. Eh.
Till next time.
Let's buy some money, and then we're gonna go to the helm finally. Prime engrams. Let's buy like $50,000, and let's go to the helm. I'm assuming the story's in the helm. Yeah, let's go to the helm. There's nothing really special happening around the tower at all. Let's put on the Zavala emblem for a little bit longer too. The flame ship. I love that ship. Didn't get anything special out of the raid for Root of Nightmares, but it was fun. I had a good time with it. Doing it over and over again. We'll just infuse some stuff in just to clear up some space. I forget, what's in there, Postmaster? Anything? Oh, the number. I forgot that there was these things in here. Whoops, I didn't even realize. Hey, we can craft that now, actually. That grenade launcher is really good. And pattern unlock for this fusion rifle. That's pretty cool. We'll go in and craft that fusion rifle afterwards, too. Alright, what's the last story mission? Our boy Crow was on the warpath to kill somebody for Amanda's death, question mark? But who are we blaming for this? I really don't know. Who's reaching out to us? Is it Crow? Tell me it's my boy. Oh.
Guardian. I woke up this morning and looked out across the grey mists of Trustland, and I've got to tell you, my heart just wasn't in it. I didn't want justice or revenge. It wouldn't bring her back. I felt tired. I didn't want to fight anymore. But then, out in the distance, I spotted a deployment of Shadow Legion moving through the fog, pushing a group of prisoners before them. It's not about me. It's about them. So I picked up my rifle, and I got to work. We've got to fight on. Not just because we're in the Vanguard, or Queen's Guard, or because we're heroes, or all that rot.
Oh, come on.
Because it's what Amanda would have done. And that's good enough for me.
I'll give my... depending on what happens here, I might say a piece about her near the very end. Though it could just be the hollow projected Devrim voice seems tired and heavy. Because of blah, 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 just repeating everything he said. It's just what Amanda would have wanted. So what are we doing? We stand unbroken, defeat Shadow Legion combatants, and complete one Defiant Battleground playlist activity. Combatants in Defiant Battleground playlist activities reward bonus progression. Okay, so it's just like, just play the game. We have 11 Defiant engrams. Okay, so what else can we craft right now? We just unlocked the grenade launcher, so we're at 2 of 5 for the auto rifle. The bow is at 1 of 5. Fusion is at 2 of 5. Grenade launcher's at 2 of 5. What kind of grenade launcher is it? It's... I don't know if it's void or not. And sword is 1 of 5. Let's get the auto rifle. It's a strand auto rifle, so it still could be useful to us. We might as well pick it up. Defiant weapon we just got, which is another sword, caretaker. Duelist trance incandescent, that seems pretty fun. I don't know. So we're gonna aim for the auto. Eye of the Storms and Moment. Auto is an adaptive frame auto rifle. It's strand, so it comes with some neat perks. Could be useful. And do I want to waste... Let's buy 1 engram. Oh, God. The sword is so hard to get. I want to get that sword, too, but it is what it is. Oh, you know what? We might as well just buy some bounties while we're here. I mean, Amanda's death is really hitting everybody hard. I want to feel sad about it, but I really just... I don't know, man. I just don't care. Like, I should care. I should feel devastated that Amanda's dead, but I realistically don't feel that bad about it, to be honest. Depending on how the seasonal story ends, we'll probably talk about it near the end of the video. Once we're basically done wrapping up the weekly story missions and stuff like that, I'll have to say my piece on this whole thing, but... Man, I want to feel bad. I don't, though. That's the problem. Legend Battleground. Maximum effective level is 1815. Nah, we won't do that quite yet. Let's just do a normal one. Just Overload and Unstoppable. We have Unstoppable for Strand, although we probably should just put on... Yeah, now we have Unstoppable. Or we have pretty much everything we need. Should I feel bad for Amanda? I mean, I kind of should. But her death just seems really forced, and the whole story for this season just seems kind of all over the place, honestly. I thought their storytelling was getting somewhat interesting, and then it just takes this weird turn of Amanda being, like, the rallying call for this season. I'm like, really? This is what we're all gonna, like, hang our hats on for rallying behind the witness and beating them? Just Amanda dying? I mean, if it was, like, Korra or Zavala or, like, Osiris, I think would be a harder hit to the gut, but for Amanda, who was doing something incredibly stupid by going out into the wild to begin with...
Can't believe Amanda's really gone. Who's more worthy of being resurrected in the light?
Even if she was, she would no longer be Amanda. That's... a different kind of pain altogether.
If you
But
really...
we cannot change the past. We can only honor her sacrifice by completing her mission.
What an
We've
idiot.
dealt with Cabal in the EDZ for years, but the Shadow Legion use different tactics.
They are even more dangerous, for they care not about honor or glory, only dominion for the witness.
What an idiot. If Mara... Oh my god, I can't believe that killed me. If Mara really believed that, like, oh, she's no longer Amanda. You keep calling Crow, like, your brother for some reason, but you, for some reason, are just hung up on the fact that, like, he is still your brother? That is so, like, half-assed. God, I hate Mara so much. She's so condescending, despite the fact that her own, like, words of comfort don't make any sense. Oh, she wouldn't be Amanda anymore. Yeah, I know that, but you were for some reason like convinced that Aldrin is somehow Crow still. He's such a... Why is this still killing me? This wave frame grenade launcher is literally killing me just by like shooting it at my feet. That's really hurting me for some reason. I was gonna say, why the hell didn't he get stunned? I just suspended him. Why did I just die? What is killing me? I am dying from, like, misadventures, and I don't understand it. Wow, I'm getting owned left and right by just random stuff. They've revived me like 4 or 5 times already from just dying randomly to stuff. No word from our boy Crow, though. Wonder what he's doing.
The Ascendant Plane subverts the laws of the material realm, allowing passage that would be otherwise impossible.
Why not use it more often? With an advantage like this, we could take apart the Black Fleet from the inside.
Rending the fabric of space-time is no mean feat, and one that saps my energy terribly. It is not an effort I can maintain.
Wow, I am really just getting toasted by all these guys right now. I am really not able to avoid their fire. There we go. Jesus. They were just laying in on me.
The Taken remind me of the Scorn. They are corrupted, polluted, defiled. Consecrate this one sacred place with your balefire.
I sense a thinning in the barrier between worlds. Your re-entry point lies just ahead. As your intuition sharpens, such opportunities will become apparent. Continue to master my power, and you will breach the Ascendant Plane at will.
I wonder if that means that we can do this even without her helping us do it. Strand allows us to, like, bypass into the Ascendant Plane by kind of, like, tearing the threads of reality around it.
Lighting balefire should secure our breach point into the pyramid.
But the Shroud of Darkness must first be lifted. Dispose of these Taken, and the blights that provide them succor.
There we go.
The Shadow Legion cannot resist the power of the Guardian and the Awoken.
With a coalition like ours, there's no fortress we can't break. As long as we stick together, we'll be unstoppable.
Unfortunately, this may also be true for the Witness. No doubt, it relies on its disciples, just as the Traveler relies on its guardians.
Although he doesn't have any disciples left. He's out of disciples as far as we know. We've killed 3 of them already,
This prison
Nezarek,
is
Rolk,
filled
and
with a
Palace.
miasma of darkness, a fetid yearning for the end of all things.
Only the light can banish it. Amplify its effects by activating the balefires.
Use them to consecrate the taken essences and turn their energies against them.
Stay out of our path. God, they take so long to kill! Oh wait, crap, that's not what I needed. There we go. We have, I was gonna say, that guy's a Titan? He looked like a hunter.
I keep expecting to find her in one of those cages. To hear her on the comms, laughing at all of us for worrying about her.
I share in your sorrow, Devrim. I will remember her as you do. Laughing.
Good man. Let's get back to it.
Relax, guys. It's not. It sucks, but okay. All right. So the mission update we just got is to return to Zavala so we can speak to him at the farm. I will mention this briefly. They did mention that Lance Redrick's voice dialogue. He obviously recorded stuff way in advance, so this season won't be the last season we hear of Lance. He's probably recorded at least some dialogue for the rest of this season, as well as the rest of Season of the Deep, I think, if he's in Season of the Deep at all. I don't know if they will give us a update or a warning saying, like, hey, this season's the last season you will hear from Lance or whatever. It'd be nice if they did, but the good news is we'll still keep hearing from him despite his passing. He still has some dialogue left in the game, which is good. It would have sucked that if this season has to end on such a bad note of his passing on top of Amanda's dying in this game. It leaves a really bad taste in everyone's mouth, and this season is just super sad because of it. But okay, we're here to craft some weapons. Okay, this grenade launcher can get both. It can get both. Well, actually, let's see what it can get, because I'm going to put the Manticore away for a second, and we'll see, because I have Wilder Flight, and this one's pretty good with Adrenaline Junking and Repulsor Brace, because just getting kills with it, like Gerfalcon's Hallberg, like just getting kills with this grenade launcher just allows us just to keep refreshing our overshields. Prodigal Return. Okay, so Prodigal Return. Countermass. Confined Launch. That's fine. Implosion Rounds, so just better velocity. It can get Disorientating and Spike Grenades. We can get Fresh, and we can get Danger Zone. Fine. But this thing can get, in the first column, I mean, you can get Envious Assassin, where rapid defeating targets with other weapons before drawing this one transfers ammo to the magazine from reserves. I think the most I've ever been able to see one of these breech-loaded grenade launchers get is like something with like Ambitious Assassin, and that's only ever been able to give it like 2 bullets in the mag. Defeating magazines with other weapons before drawing this one transfers ammo to the magazine from reserves. This effect can overflow the magazine based on the number of targets defeated. It doesn't say what. They really needed to come back through and kind of like touch up a lot of these enhanced traits, because it doesn't even say what this enhanced Envious Assassin does. And then you want Envious Assassin with something like Volt Shot, where reloading this weapon after defeating a target overcharges this weapons and causes it to jolt on the next target. It's kind of like Salvagers, except Salvagers chain reaction, you just get a kill. I mean, it is what it is. It's no Salvager Salvo, which is my favorite grenade launcher because of how much I've slapped with that both in PvE and PvP. But I mean, we'll try it and see if it gets better. Man, these shaders, I hate stuff that can't shade. It's all just crystalline, and it just looks like crap, because you can't, those parts of it don't shade at all. I mean, it doesn't really matter what we put on this thing, because, like, again, the majority of the gun won't change colors. I mean, Wilder Flight is a very unique weapon, as in it has double fire grenade launcher capabilities. I think we'll put it away for a little bit just to try this one out for a bit. New weapons are always fun to level up, especially when this one can possibly become newer. Okay, Vexcaliber. Like I said before, I did all the missions I needed to Oh, I guess I didn't have the last one. Hold on a second. I need more money again. Let's go to the tower, buy even more money, and come back here and try this again. I really wish that Glimmer would be something that would go to the inventory box now, because I'm just wasting money. Oh crap, I pressed the screenshot button on my controller. I'm literally leaving some money behind on every mission I go out on now. It would be nice if I could keep some of that money, or if that money went to the postmaster. Okay. Gotta do it for Amanda. A lot of people died out in the wilds before Amanda died. Let's be real. I'm not doing this just for Amanda. I'm doing this for a lot of reasons. Crow's probably doing this just for Amanda, but way back in the Season of the Haunted Days, I said that he was probably going to be the Hunter Vanguard if and when he was able to finally put this whole Amanda business behind him. I think he's about to do that with this next mission, because we have to go talk to... Wow, really? Speak with Zavala at the farm, step 27 of 28? That is it? I thought me and Crow were going to go on a mission and go wreak some havoc or something. Is that not even happening? Is it like the end of the season mission? Kind of like the secret mission like they did with Season of the Seraph? Oh man, they don't even give Crow like his own part in this season. I hope it's not like being postponed to some future season or something. Wow, Amanda's death is really just whatever. I guess we're going to a funeral? Okay, so nothing changes here. We just go from 1 to 1. We do get the new refit options, though. Immovable refit, dealing range damage, grants increased weapon energy while you're stationary with your shields raised. No thank you. Robber refit, melee final bows reload the weapon, and feedback refit, blocking damage partially reloads this weapon from reserve. So you can basically block and keep shooting forever. Okay, so what do we want? Increased stability. We want increased handling. Wait a minute. It's increased stability. Stability is not even a weapon perk on this gun, is it? Stability is not even, like, a perk. Like, it's not even here. I mean, stability would be nice, but I don't know if it means recoil direction. Slightly increases stability, slightly increases handling, fitted stock, increases stability, moderately controls recoil. Short action stock. It is a snappier glaive, where being able to whip it out does kind of help, but it doesn't aim necessarily down the sights like you would want it to, because aiming just brings up the shield. It doesn't do anything if you aim. It already has pretty decent handling to start with. Maybe fitted stock? Increases stability, moderately controls recoil, slightly decreases handling speed? I don't know. We already have 6 in the mag, so blocking damage partially reloads his weapon from reserve, so we can almost indefinitely fire. So we don't need extended mag. It helps, but it's not required anymore. Extended mag and appended mag both give us 6. Accurized rounds, swap mag. Increases this weapon's ready and stow speed. Light mag. Improves reload, slightly increases range. I mean, do we want accurized rounds? Light mag. And then we have this, so we have low impedance wendings. Increases shield duration, slightly increases reload speed, decreases range. We kind of want a good amount of shield duration, because when we have our shield up, dealing additional damage, melee damage, while protected by an overshield. Defeating targets with a melee final blow when this overshield is active will refresh it. So, I think it ensures fires a spread equipped with a quick draining shield. Blocking damage with your shield gradually bestows overshields to protect yourself and nearby allies. So we kind of want better shield duration. We don't want like a quick draining shield. We kind of want a better draining shield. Yeah, like auxiliary reserves, which decreases our reload speed but greatly increases shield duration. So yeah, we want a better shield. Light mag, I mean, we could give ourselves an even better range perk. Basically gives us 90 range, which allows us to hit the glaive from a further distance. Reload speed goes down, but we don't need a tremendous amount of reload speed because feedback refit just will reload it just for blocking. So shooting then blocking will just gradually reload it. So better range does help. I mean, we don't need better swapping because it already has 82 handling. Increasing the mag doesn't do anything for us because we get one extra bullet, but again, it gradually reloads the mag just for blocking. So the stock greatly increases handling speed. We can almost max out handling. Modulated controls recoil. I kind of want fitted stock because just better recoil control and increased stability. Like, it just seems better. And yeah, that's basically it, boys. We don't need much more for this. I don't know how much of this compares to the God roll, but I honestly think that would be it. And yeah, it has a Masterwork logo around it now, so now this thing has been Masterwork now. I am curious, what does it look like when we actually have like moderately controls recoil so that the glaive doesn't jump up nearly as much? Reload's not too bad. Okay, this is me controlling the spread. Like, I'm pulling ever so slightly down on the stick, but if I just hold the trigger, it jumps up ever so slightly. Is the spread getting wider as I'm shooting it faster? No. Not bad. I mean, it's okay. I don't know what moderately controls recoil does, but it doesn't jump up nearly as much. I don't have to mess with my aim nearly as much and pull down on the stick nearly as often. It kind of does bring the recoil into a more manageable state. Okay. Is there going to be a cutscene? If there's going to be a cutscene, I'm not going to wear this hideous mask because I want to look my best for Amanda's funeral, so we'll go wearing our Strand getup. Not catching me wearing that ugly-ass helmet. It's a useful helmet. It's a Strand-specific helmet. I hope next season they introduce another Strand exotic for Hunters. Because Hunters don't... This is the only Strand-specific helmet. There's other things that kind of synergize with Strand a little bit, but this one is just not nearly as good. We could probably use something like... Nothing gives us an extra melee like the Warlocks. But Seal the Humkara grasps... Dealing melee damage reloads your currently equipped weapon, provides a large benefit to airborne effectiveness for all weapons for 5 seconds after dealing melee damage. Could be useful. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else really. God, Athers's Embrace, if that worked with the Strand Dagger, that'd be so busted. I mean, that's really it, actually. 6 Coyote for double dives. All right, here it is over here. Zavala, my boy, what's happening?
We've all died countless deaths.
Oh.
But we still only feel loss from the outside in. Holiday. She died doing what was necessary to protect the people of the city. She didn't do it out of obligation or circumstance. She knew it had to be done. And she believed in it to the end. She had one life. And she used it to save us. She set an example for us all. I don't know what else to say. Amanda. I would give my last life, if it would bring her back.
Oh, come on,
I
Zavala.
begged before. It's a false hope. A lie. At every loss, the traveler is silent. Each path I take leads me to a grave. Cade. Sophia. Hakim. I failed them all. I love you, Amanda. I'm so proud of you. Forgive me.
He has her bandana wrapped around his shoulder plate now. I mean, if this is the... Oh, we got an emblem. Amnestet Stronghold. Really? This was her eulogy? Only Zavala showed up? Nobody else came? Not even Crow was here for the stupid little statue? Oh my goodness, man. Where the hell are you, bro? You weren't even here for the funeral or the eulogy? Goodness. Alright. Well, I guess it didn't matter that much to him either. Or he's just off sulking somewhere. And yeah, I mean, he's torn up about it. Like, I've begged the Traveler to revive my friends before in the past, and it's always been silent. Like, yeah, I mean, you have to, you know, exhibit the qualities of a Guardian. She kind of does, but, I mean, we'll talk about it here in a second. Dang, it's just nobody else is here. On the farm, too. This place is like, it's like the back of, like, it's the middle of nowhere. Not even in the tower. Because there's like a monument. Isn't there like a monument to the fallen in the tower? You bury her here at the farm. Right? That's what this is, right? Monument to Fellowship. Like, yeah, this is like a Cade statue is like right freaking there. Oh my god, you bury her here, like in the middle of nowhere. Wow, not even next to the Cade statue. Heroes of the Tower. Like, nah, just bury her here. Alright. What, Mara?
One cannot hear Zavala's words and remain unmoved. That man has borne suffering enough for many lifetimes. That is the price we pay for opening our hearts. And as the voice in the darkness extends its reach, we know only that few will finish this journey with us, for the path is long. As the nebulae whirl and billow above us, we remain. We endure. This is our privilege. Our duty. And our curse. Take heart, Guardian. Know that we will endure. Together.
Mara seems affected by Zavala's heartful words. There seems to be little she can say to ease his pain or yours or even her own. The future is uncertain. She looks you in the eyes and feel the weight of her words. Know that we will endure this together. Not even a red border weapon, dude? Man, it ends just like that. Like, okay, I mean, granted, it should end on a sadder note because, you know, it's the prelude. It's supposed to show us how certain things are supposed to, you know, come to an end or whatever. And, like, how the stakes are super high. But Amanda died in such a stupid way. Like, not even, like, stupid as in, like... Well, actually, it is stupid in bad storytelling ways. Like, yeah, it was just dumb. She died in a really stupid way. Fighting on the ground and doing hit-and-run tactics and guerrilla ops. I'm like, yo, dude, you're, like... Aren't you a pilot? Why are you on the ground? It's so dumb. But, alright. Is it Crow? Can we at least get Crow to talk to us at the very end?
Crow.
What do you want?
I wish to speak with you.
I don't have time for this. Or for you.
We've all lost someone dear to us.
If you mean me, you don't show it.
I wanted to. But I held my heart so closely that I smothered it. I don't want to see you do the same.
You don't know me. Stop talking like you do.
I know how we grieve. It is raw and violent. I know we believe that keeping others away from it will protect them. But we don't do it to protect them. We do it to protect ourselves. We do it because it is easy.
Nothing about this is easy. You didn't know her.
Yeah, he's right.
Tell me who she was.
She was a sunrise.
Grieve its setting. But do not turn your grief to armor. Let us bear you through it.
I'll try.
I know you will.
Yeah, like she's reaching out to him, like, yeah, stop talking to me like you know who I am. You do not know anything about me, dude. I'm a stranger to you. And he's also kind of right, like, yeah, you're sad, but you didn't know Amanda. Like, why would you care? She only cares because Crow cares. That is so shallow of her to do as well. She's like, oh, I care. Like, I wanna help. Like, no, you don't. Like, it's such a weird motive for her to like still be trying to reach out to Crow to like bring him under her wing. She just wants influence over him. And, like, yeah, like, if you're talking about, like, we've all lost people. Like, if you're talking about me, you really don't show it, because you've been really cold and distant. Like, I know everything about Uldren now because I have his memories, and you've clearly been abusive and very cold and distant to him his entire life, so I don't know what you're talking about. She's trying to turn over a new leaf, but only because Uldren is freaking dead, and not... She had all the many millennia to turn it around with her own brother, and she chose not to. She'd rather just keep him at a distance. And it's like, yeah, you do that as armor to protect the ones we love. It didn't work. And even I like that my boy Crow was like, stop trying to talk to me like you know who I am. I'm nobody. He's like, just tell me who she was then. Like, no, again, she doesn't, I don't think she genuinely cares. She's just trying to form a connection with Crow to try to have some form of influence and say over his actions. And he's at least smart enough not to fall for that. He was able to see through it immediately. And yeah, he's a little emotional right now, but he's like, I'll try to let you in, but like I'm still very hesitant to have anything to do with you, and very much I'm very hesitant to even call you my sister. Like, yeah, don't call her that. You are not her brother anymore. That if Amanda does get resurrected by the Light too, it's not going to be Amanda. They even brought that up during the Defiant Battleground mission just now. They're like, if she is resurrected, it's not going to be Amanda. But for whatever reason, she's dead set on still considering Crow Uldren for some reason. Even despite the fact that he has his memories, I'd never considered them the same person, even from the onset. And I like the fact that he's still also not fully on board with thinking of her as her sister. She's just the Queen of the Awoken, who he's working with. I mean, and that's the end of the story mission, really? That just ends like that? I mean, it's supposed to be sad, and it's supposed to feel like we're losing all hope, but like the story just feels like it's been written so badly. And if Amanda's death is really supposed to be hard-hitting and really supposed to be super sad, you think more people would show up than frickin' Zavala only. You think most of the tower's denizens would be here for this. But no, it's just him. Like, not even Ikora or Cyrus, not even Mithrax or Devrim. Like, they don't have to say anything. Their models can just be here just to, like, say hi and leave. But only he's here, and her little statue's, like, over here between these two trees and stuck behind here. Like, this is a terrible place to bury anybody. And where is she, too, actually? Is she buried underneath the ground, like, right here? Did we cremate her? It kind of begs the question, what happens if you're buried underground in, like, a coffin and, like, a ghost tries to resurrect you? Do I just wake up in a coffin, or does it, like, transmat me to the surface? I don't know. Because waking up after being dead, only to be in total darkness and being inside a very confined space underground seems very frightening, actually. I mean, that's the story. Again, it just feels kind of whatever, honestly. I don't care that much. I mean, I don't know where my boy is. He's off doing something. I thought he made it seem like last week we were going to go on some sort of crazy mission to go strike back at the Shadow Legion, but that never happened. I wonder if it'll be a seasonal mission at the very end where we'll go and try to strike back like at a conclusionary mission at the end of the season. I don't know. I hope that's the case. Hopefully. I wanted to hear more from my boy, but I guess he's off sulking, but that's fine. He can do that. He has a right to do that. I did say a really long time ago that when Crow resolved his issues with Uldren, that he was basically ready to take on the Hunter Vanguard role. There was only one little thing standing in his way, and it was his old beef and whole drama he had with Amanda. And that the second that was resolved one way or the other, he would be fully ready to take on the responsibility to be a Hunter Vanguard. Because at that point, he would understand the burden of responsibility and the burden of what it feels like to lose somebody close to him. Or at least to have someone close to him for him to fight for, if assuming she ever came around, which she never did. So now that she's gone, I think he really can fully take on the role now. Now he understands the weight of responsibility, the weight of his actions, like messing. Like, he's seen what his actions and his rash actions do when he doesn't fully think through his plans, in the form of Saladin being stuck serving Keitel. So Saladin sort of taught him that lesson of responsibility to always think through his plans. And coming to terms with his past with Uldren has kind of taught him his like perspective and what not to do. He uses Uldren as a guideline as to what not to do with his life and what not to do with his power and his influence. Kind of the same thing with Mara as well. And he's also learned the value of his friends and his loved ones from losing Amanda. And I think all these little traits have kind of molded him into something that's worth the Hunter Vanguard position. And he's had a really short life in his second life as a Guardian, because he was originally raised and immediately put into slavery by Spider. He's had to keep secrets from the Tower and keep a secret as far as who he was and kind of hide his identity and, you know, have this little secret from everybody growing up, and he didn't know why. And then when he was finally showed the evil truth of his past life, it kind of tore him up, and he's had a really rough go of it. We've been with him from almost every step of the way, giving him our ear and our shoulder to lean on when he needs it, but he's had a really rough upbringing, and we've tried our best to like free him from the slavery and have him come to terms with his past life, but it's not been easy. And now he's lost like someone really close to him. I don't want to say someone he loved, because they never explicitly said that, and it might have been a one-sided love, because Amanda seemed way more interested in Crow before she ever saw his face, and the second she saw his face, she just wrote him off as being someone not worthy of her time. And even after, you know, other people forgave Uldren, like Zavala and Ikora, you know, the two people who had the most closest relationship with Cade, and everybody else getting over it, he even mended things up with his pseudo-father figures in the form of, like, Saint and Osiris. Like, Amanda, just for whatever reason, just kept giving him the cold shoulder and kept just pushing him off and blowing him off and just, like, not giving him the time of day. Despite the fact that in the end, her rationale was so unreasonable. I was just like, yo, dude, you need to just push her to the side. She is not worth your time anymore. And now that she's, like, 100% gone, like, she is definitely not worth Crow's time anymore. He needs to squash this already with himself and just come to terms with the fact that, like, yeah, she's gone, but, like, you know what, dude, she's only ever stood in your way of being a Guardian. Now you can really focus up on, you know, doing the things you do, not because you want to prove to Amanda that you're a good person or that you are a good person, but you can finally do these things in order to just prove, not even to prove anything, not even because you have to prove something to Amanda. You can just do these things now just because you want to do them, because that's what a Guardian does, and you're just a hero like that. And now that she's gone, I mean, he will still have to go on this one little revenge mission we have planned for the future. But once that's out of the way, like, he'll be fully in control of his own destiny at that point. He won't be doing this to appease Zavala or Osiris, or to get back at Savathun, or to try to amend things with Amanda. It'll be because he really wants to do it now. And there's nothing else standing in his way. Not that that's a cold or bad thing to do, but sometimes these people are only in your life for brief moments to, like, give you some character growth, and then they take off, and then you guys just part ways. Like, your destinies were intertwined, but they were never joined, if it's a quote from Pirates of the Caribbean. You guys might have shared some time together, but your guys' destiny was never to be part of each other. Because, you know, one way or the other, Crow, my boy, you were going to have to say goodbye to her at some point. Whether it's now, a year from now, or no, 5 decades from now, you're immortal, bro. You're eventually going to just outlive her. That's just the price you pay for being with someone who's not an immortal. So, it was going to suck no matter what. And, again, I'm going to say something controversial, too, that I said during Season of the Seraph about Rasputin. I don't want to see Amanda come back. She needs to stay dead. I don't want to see her be resurrected as a Guardian. Not only would that just cheapen her death, but also, I have just a bad feeling that my boy Crow would just do this all over again and try to self-insert himself into the new Amanda's life and either try to befriend her in order to get back with her, or to try to get back with her or whatever, and then try to, like, date this newer version of Amanda. But I'm just like, yo, dude, like, you wouldn't want... No, he didn't like that idea. When he was the one being accused and being roped into a bunch of drama and a bunch of issues when he was resurrected as Crow, and him having to deal with, like, the fallout of Uldren's old life. You know what I mean? But then you're gonna resurrect Amanda, and then you're gonna try to, like, self-insert yourself into her life and try to, like, be there for her as her friend, and maybe even try to form some sort of relationship, dude. Like, no. And again, it's not going to be Amanda. You liked Amanda. It's going to be a completely different person. Their personalities may align more or less with the same, you know, sort of ideologies and stuff like that, but it's not going to be her. And I think you trying to get with this new chick is just going to... It's going to cheapen Amanda's life. It's going to... And I feel like there's just going to be fallout again from him... I can only imagine, like, in a future season where, like, the new Amanda... I'm just going to call her, like, Hawk, because he's a crow, and Amanda's a bird, or whatever. I can only imagine that Hawk is, like, going to get super pissed at Crow for holding secrets again, and not divulging the fact that he used to know Hawk in her previous life. And it just blowing up in his face again, him being accused of holding secrets again, and they're just being just giant fallout of this new chick, just... being mad at Crow for just holding back and not telling him the full story and the full picture. I know, right? And, like, it's just... I don't want to see her come back. Like, her story's wrapped up. She was kind of really cruel and, you know, kind of heartless towards Crow near the end of it. And I guess, you know, whatever, everybody processes grief a little bit differently. But you know what, dude? Like... she was definitely not worthy of him by the end of it. I was kind of, like... it's gonna be kind of messed up, but I'm kind of glad she died. She was just giving him the cold shoulder and just blowing him off far too often. And he, you know, was infatuated. He had, like, this puppy love for her, and he tried his best to win her over. And she was just being so unreasonable about it. And, again, everyone else who had the most reason to hold a grudge against him forgave him and kind of looked past him as his own person. But she, for whatever reason, refused to do so, and she just held that against him for whatever reason. And he, again, tried his best to prove that he wasn't that person, that they can try to form something new, but she just didn't care. And, like, I'm like, you know what, dude? Like, that's, again, she's not worthy of you, bro. You're better than that. Don't chase an abusive relationship. This is not... That's basically what it is. I'm sorry to say, but it is what it is. I call it like I see it. I don't want to see her come back as a Guardian. She may be worthy of it, with all intents and purposes, but she treated my boy real dirty near the end, and while Zavala's really torn up about it, her death is kind of shallow, to be honest. It doesn't really fit her character style. I would have really much preferred her getting shot down of her plane, maybe me and Crow are on a mission together. She's providing Overwatch. She gets shot down. Me and Crow try to get to her. We get waylaid by the Shadow Legion, and then by the time we finally get to that stupid ship of hers, it blows up. And he tries to pull her out of the fire, but it just explodes, like, really big. And it's just heartbreaking, because he was right there, and he was just a little too late to save her. And that would have been a little bit more devastating and a little bit more poignant, for a poignant way for her to go. But, I mean, it is what it is, guys. I don't have much more to add to this. We've been talking more than we've been playing, unfortunately, but that's just this weekly story mission. There's not a lot to go for right now. They gave us, like, just basically do a Defiant Battleground, watch these short cutscenes, listen to Mara talk, scene, end of the season, go out and just play some more. Like, man, really? That's it? Okay, I guess. I don't have much else to add to this, guys. I mean, her character arc was whatever, I guess. If you can argue it was good. I think the writing for this season's kind of all over the place. Kind of lines up with Lightfall 2, with Lightfall's writing being all over the place, and this also being all over the place. I kind of don't want to see Amanda come back. I think she needs to stay dead for Crow to learn his lesson, to never take people for granted, and to always be true and honest with them, and to, you know, hopefully this, you know, loss will help him be a better person. And again, in my opinion, I don't think she was worthy of him to begin with at the very end anyways. If she just gets resurrected as a Guardian, I don't want to see my boy Crow go after her again. He should be friendly with her, you know, like any other Guardian, and, you know, just form a working relationship, especially if she gets resurrected as a hunter and she's, like, he's her boss or whatever. But I think it'll be best if this chapter of his book is closed and he's fully capable of doing his own thing now. Not because he needs to prove it to anybody, to prove he's a good guy, to prove to Amanda. He just does it because he wants to do it. And I think that'll be a better way to go forward with him. Sure, we still have the one revenge mission. We still got to go through with him. But I'm hoping if and when that's done, it's just really poignant, and it's just a nice send-off of that part of his life, and he can really just be like, you know what, dude? I'm ready to be the Hunter Vanguard. I know responsibility now. I know loss. I know what I'm doing now. We can be the Hunter Vanguard now. Great. Let's get to it. That's my little... It's a super hot take, I know. It's a lot, and it's rambling, and I had a bit to think about it before I even started talking, or before I even started, like, recording this video, but I knew, for the most part, what I wanted to say, and I think it's poignant, I think it's relevant, and again, I might be wrong. Most people would probably go with the idea that Amanda should get resurrected, they should get back together again, but again, I think it's gonna just dull the sacrifice and dull the whole, the whole storyline altogether. I think that's something that should not happen. But you know what? Tell me what you think down below. Let me know in the comment section. Am I right? Am I wrong? Is my hot take too hot? Is my hot take not hot enough? Do you have a different sort of take on the whole situation? Do I just not understand character growth? I don't know. I'm the kind of guy who, from the outside looking in, it just looks like a one-sided relationship. I can't speak on everybody's relationships, but I've been on both the receiving end of both sides of this relationships in the past, where I was the guy chasing the girl, and then I was the guy being chased after by the girl, and it's never a good feeling to be on either side. And again, everyone has their reasons, everyone has their rationale that they tell themselves at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, it's still not good for either party. And at some point, you've really just got to cut the cord and just move on. It's hard to do, but when something like this happens, you don't have a choice. You have to move on. You can't just stay in the past, because it doesn't matter to Amanda anymore, because she's freaking dead. It only matters to Crow now. But yeah, this will be the end of this weekly video. I think we'll be posting this. There's not a lot to go off of now. I was going to do an Iron Banner video, but Iron Banner this season, or this past week, was pretty lukewarm. It wasn't toxic like it was the previous season, where everyone was like using bubbles on, the pseudo control maps. Everyone was just playing normally. It wasn't anything crazy. I meant to record, but I just forgot. I think that we'll definitely try to do a Trials video now that we're kind of closer to the Pinnacle power cap. I think we'll definitely do a Trials video this upcoming weekend. And by the time this video goes out, Dead Space and Midnight Suns are pretty much wrapped up. I think there's some DLC to do for Midnight Suns. Maybe we'll jump into that. And again, we're waiting for some more games to come out later. I'm looking at a couple games right now. I think we're going to be doing Diablo and Dead Island 2 way down the line when those games eventually come out during the summer. We're going to be, digging real deep in with Destiny for the time being. I might do some Trials videos. I might do some other thoughts videos if, the last video I posted got pretty positive likes and reviews on my thoughts of Lance Redrick. Again, I don't think we've heard the last of Lance. I think he's recorded a lot of extra dialogue between now and the next couple seasons, so we still have a lot more of him left to go too. But you know what, guys? And until next time, I'll see you guys around.